Every great transformation starts with a single decision. Not a miracle pill, not a magic workout, not even the perfect diet plan. It starts the moment you say to yourself, enough, I deserve better. For years, maybe you've looked in the mirror and avoided your own reflection. You've made excuses, told yourself, I'll start next week. And deep down, you've been tired of living in a body that doesn't feel like you. I know that pain, that frustration, that voice in your head that whispers, what if you can't do it? But here's the truth, you can. You don't need to run a marathon tomorrow. You don't need to lift heavy weights today. What you need is to take that first small brave step. Drink that glass of water, walk for 10 minutes, choose a healthy meal instead of fast food, and then do it again tomorrow. Because progress isn't about giant leaps, it's about consistent steps. When you commit to showing up for yourself every single day, the magic begins to happen. The scale will move, yes, but more importantly, your energy will rise, your mood will lift, your confidence will return. You'll start to look in the mirror and recognize the person staring back. There will be days you don't feel like it, days when old habits try to pull you back. But you've got to remind yourself you are not just losing weight, you are reclaiming your life. You're proving to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses, that the old version of you is gone and the new you, the one with fire in your eyes, that's who you're becoming. And when people see your transformation, they'll ask, what's your secret? You'll smile because the secret is simple. I didn't quit, so start today, not next week, not next month. The time for your glow up is now. And when you finally reach your goal, you won't just look different, you'll be different. Stronger, braver, unstoppable. Your journey starts right here, right now. Let's go. You see, every transformation in the human body, whether it's about losing weight, improving health, or reversing years of bad habits, always starts with one critical moment, the decision. I'm not talking about a casual thought like maybe I should eat better or perhaps I should start walking. No, I'm talking about a deep, honest decision that comes from within, one that says, enough is enough, I deserve better. This is the cornerstone of your journey because until your mind is ready, your body will never follow. In medicine, we understand that physical change is driven by mental commitment first. I've seen patients who had the perfect meal plan, a tailored exercise program, even the best supplements, but they failed because they were still holding on to old excuses. And then I've seen patients who didn't have the perfect plan at all, but they made an unshakable choice to turn their life around and somehow they found a way to succeed. That's the power of decision. It flips the switch in your brain from I might try to I will do this no matter what. Think of it like preparing for surgery. If a patient isn't mentally ready for the procedure, their recovery will be slow and complications are more likely. The mind drives the body, and in weight loss, your surgery is the daily discipline to eat right, move more, and break unhealthy cycles. That decision is like signing a contract with yourself. You're saying, I will take responsibility for my health even when it's hard, even when no one else is watching. Many people wait for the perfect time to start after the holidays when work slows down, when they feel more motivated. But let me be clear, as a doctor, there will never be a perfect time. Life will always throw you stress, busy schedules, social events, and emotional triggers. If you're waiting for the right conditions, you'll wait forever. The only time that truly exists for change is now. The day you truly decide that your health is non-negotiable, that's the day your transformation begins. This decision isn't emotional hype, it's a calculated choice backed by reason. You look at your lab results, your blood pressure, your weight, your energy levels, and you realize if I keep going this way, I'm headed for diabetes, heart disease, maybe worse. As a physician, I can tell you that most chronic diseases we see in clinics are preventable, but prevention requires one thing. You must decide to act before the disease decides for you. When you make that choice, it's not just about looking good in a mirror. It's about waking up with more energy. It's about moving without pain. It's about extending your life and the quality of that life. And the fascinating thing is, the human body is remarkably forgiving. Even if you've neglected it for years, once you decide to care for it, it begins to respond. Your metabolism starts to improve, your hormones begin to balance, your cardiovascular health strengthens. This isn't magic, it's biology responding to your decision. And here's something I tell my patients all the time. Once you make the decision, stop negotiating with yourself. Don't debate every morning whether you'll exercise. Don't bargain about whether you'll eat clean today. The decision has already been made. Your job now is simply to follow through. This removes the daily mental tug of war and frees up your energy to focus on action, not excuses. So understand this. The weight loss journey is not about finding the perfect plan first, it's about making the decision first. Plans can be adjusted, workouts can be modified, diets can evolve, but without that solid internal commitment, all the information in the world won't help you. The decision is your foundation, and without it, the structure of your transformation will collapse. Make it today, make it firm, and once it's made, never look back. Your future health depends on it. When we talk about weight loss, most people imagine dramatic before and after photos, rapid changes on the scale, or big milestones like running their first marathon. But as a physician, I've learned that the real science of transformation isn't found in giant leaps. It's found in the small, consistent actions you take every single day. These small steps, repeated over time, create compound effects that reshape not just your body, but your overall health profile. I've seen patients frustrated because they only lost 1 pound in a week, but what they don't realize is that 1 pound a week is over 50 pounds in a year. That's the power of steady, deliberate action. You don't need to change your entire lifestyle in one day. Your brain and body simply aren't built for that. Instead, you focus on small, achievable goals that you can sustain. Drink an extra glass of water, add one more serving of vegetables to your plate, take a short walk after dinner. These steps may seem insignificant in isolation, but together they build a powerful foundation for lasting change. Biologically, the human body thrives on adaptation. When you make small improvements, your metabolism, cardiovascular system, and hormonal balance begin to shift in the right direction. For example, walking just 15 minutes a day can lower blood pressure, improve insulin sensitivity, and even boost mood by increasing endorphin production. Over time, these benefits stack on top of each other, leading to significant health gains that no crash diet or all-or-nothing workout routine can match. One of the most common mistakes I see is the overhaul mentality. People become so eager to lose weight quickly that they overhaul everything at once, completely changing their diet, starting intense workouts, and trying to adopt an entirely new lifestyle overnight. It sounds impressive, but it's not sustainable. Within weeks, the body and mind become overwhelmed, motivation fades, and old habits return. In medicine, we prefer progressive adaptation because it's far more sustainable and less likely to trigger burnout or injury. Another important aspect of small, consistent steps is the way they rewire your brain. Your daily habits form neural pathways, automatic patterns that dictate your behavior without conscious thought. When you repeat positive actions like choosing water over soda or taking the stairs instead of the elevator, you strengthen these healthy neural pathways. Over time, these behaviors become second nature, making it easier to maintain your progress without constant willpower battles. Consistency also builds psychological momentum. The brain loves progress, and even small victories release dopamine, a neurotransmitter that motivates you to keep going. That's why celebrating small wins is not just motivational, it's scientifically beneficial. If you focus on the fact that you walked every day this week or that you resisted junk food 3 times, you're reinforcing the behavior you want to continue. And the beauty of momentum is that it works in both directions. Once you've built it in a positive way, it becomes harder to stop. It's important to remember that your body is a long-term investment. Small, consistent actions compound over time, just like money in a savings account. The earlier you start, the greater the return on your health. And if you miss a day, you haven't lost everything. You simply resume where you left off. In clinical practice, I've seen patients recover from decades of poor habits simply by committing to daily incremental changes. They didn't start by running marathons, they started by walking to the mailbox. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the size of your goal, shift your focus. Don't think about losing 50 pounds. Think about what you can do in the next hour that moves you closer to health. Can you prepare a healthy lunch? Can you take a brisk walk? Can you drink more water? These are the steps that create transformation. And here's the truth. If you can master the discipline of small daily actions, the big results you're dreaming about will not only arrive, they'll last. Because you won't just be changing your weight, you'll be changing the way you live. One of the most damaging mindsets I see in patients trying to lose weight is the belief that they must be perfect in order to succeed. They think if they miss one workout, eat one unhealthy meal, or have a setback, they've failed entirely. This all or nothing thinking is not only unrealistic, It's biologically and psychologically harmful. In reality, weight loss and health improvement are about progress, not perfection. Your body responds to the overall pattern of your behavior over time, not one isolated choice. In medicine, we focus on trends rather than single data points. If your blood pressure is slightly elevated one day, it doesn't mean you're doomed. What matters is the pattern over weeks and months. The same is true for weight loss. If you maintain healthier habits most of the time, your body will adapt in a positive direction. One indulgent meal or missed workout does not erase weeks of consistent effort. But giving up entirely because of a slip, that's what halts progress. Perfectionism creates pressure, and pressure leads to burnout. I've seen patients start their journey with strict, extreme rules: zero sugar, 2 hours of daily exercise, rigid meal timing, and yes, they might see quick results in the short term. But life is unpredictable. A stressful work week, a family event, or simply low energy can throw them off. And because their mindset is perfection based, one small deviation feels like failure. This emotional crash often leads to quitting altogether. Instead, I encourage a focus on progress. Every healthy choice you make is a deposit into your health account. Even if you have an unhealthy meal, you can follow it with a healthier one. If you miss a workout, you can walk the next day. These small recoveries are powerful because they build resilience, the ability to keep moving forward despite setbacks. Resilience is a far stronger predictor of long-term success than short bursts of perfection. There's also a physiological reason progress matters more than perfection. Your body thrives on balance, not extremes. Crash dieting or overexercising can stress your endocrine system, disrupt hormone levels, and slow your metabolism. A gradual, consistent approach keeps your systems in harmony, allowing fat loss without compromising muscle mass, immune function, or energy levels. Progress-oriented living is more sustainable because it works with your biology instead of fighting it. Another important factor is mental health. The stress of aiming for perfection elevates cortisol levels, a hormone linked to fat storage, especially around the abdomen. By allowing yourself grace and aiming for steady improvement, you actually create a hormonal environment that's more supportive of fat loss. This is why the most successful long-term transformations I've seen were not the ones done under rigid, punishing regimes, but the ones that allowed flexibility and self-compassion. A progress-based mindset also changes your relationship with setbacks. Instead of viewing them as proof you can't succeed, you see them as part of the process. In fact, occasional challenges are opportunities to practice getting back on track. Every time you do that, you strengthen your self-discipline muscle, and just like in the gym, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. So if you find yourself thinking you've ruined your progress because of one slip, stop and look at the bigger picture. Ask yourself, am I better off than I was last month, last year? If the answer is yes, you are on the right track. Keep going. Aim for consistency, not perfection, because the truth is, no one has a flawless journey, but those who keep moving forward, adjusting and improving, are the ones who reach their goals and stay there. Your transformation will not be perfect, but it will be worth it. When people first start a weight loss journey, they often see it purely as a process of reducing numbers on the scale, but as a physician, I can tell you that the benefits reach far beyond pounds lost. In fact, the most profound changes I've witnessed in patients have little to do with the scale at all. This journey is about reclaiming your health, your confidence, your energy, and your ability to fully participate in life. The number you see when you weigh yourself is just one small measurement of a much bigger transformation. Weight loss is a gateway to better overall health. Even a modest reduction in body weight, 5 to 10%, can dramatically lower your risk for chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and certain cancers. Your blood pressure begins to normalize, cholesterol levels improve, and your body becomes more sensitive to insulin. From a medical perspective, these are life-changing outcomes. They mean more years lived without disease, less dependence on medication, and a higher quality of life as you age. Beyond the measurable medical benefits, there is the renewal of physical energy. Extra weight forces your heart, lungs, and joints to work harder every single day. As you shed that excess burden, walking upstairs becomes easier, playing with your kids feels more natural, and daily activities no longer leave you winded. Patients often tell me that after losing weight, they feel like they've been given a new body because tasks that once seemed exhausting now feel effortless. That's not just about being lighter, it's about restoring your body's efficiency and strength. And then there's the mental and emotional transformation. Many people underestimate how closely physical health is tied to mental health. Carrying excess weight can lead to poor self image, social withdrawal, and even depression. As you progress on your journey, you begin to see yourself differently, not because you've reached some ideal body type, but because you've proven to yourself that you can take control of your health. This growing confidence affects every area of life, from career opportunities to relationships. I've seen patients stand taller, speak with more certainty, and re engage with activities they once avoided because of embarrassment or fatigue. They start traveling again, taking photographs without trying to hide behind others, and enjoying hobbies they had abandoned years ago. This is why I say weight loss is not just about losing pounds, it's about gaining freedom. There's also a social and relational benefit. When you prioritize your health, you set an example for your family, friends, and even your children. I've had patients tell me that their commitment inspired their spouse to start exercising or encourage their kids to make healthier food choices. Your transformation can create a ripple effect, improving the well being of those around you. Physiologically, these benefits reinforce one another. Better physical health improves mental health, which in turn boosts your motivation to stay active and make good food choices. The momentum you build becomes self sustaining. This is why it's crucial not to view your progress only through the lens of weight, because there will be times when the scale doesn't move yet your health is still improving in significant ways. So as you move forward, remember that your journey is about much more than shrinking your waistline. It's about increasing your vitality, reducing your risk of disease, and improving your emotional well-being. It's about being able to live life on your own terms without physical limitations holding you back. When you understand this bigger picture, you stop chasing a number and start building a lifestyle, one that allows you to thrive for years to come. There will be days on your weight loss journey when you simply don't feel like continuing. As a doctor, I want to prepare you for that reality because it is not a sign of weakness, it's a normal part of human behavior and biology. Your motivation will fluctuate. There will be mornings when the bed feels too warm to get up for a workout, evenings when stress makes junk food tempting, and moments when old habits seem easier than pushing forward. What matters most is not avoiding these days altogether, but learning how to move through them without losing momentum. From a medical standpoint, our bodies are designed to seek comfort and avoid discomfort. This is part of our survival wiring, but in today's world, it works against us. When exercise feels challenging, when your muscles are sore, or when you're craving high-calorie foods, your brain will try to convince you to take the path of least resistance. If you're not prepared for this, you may interpret it as a sign that you're failing or that you're not cut out for change. The truth is the opposite. These moments are opportunities to build resilience. Resilience is one of the most important predictors of long-term health success. It's the ability to stick to your plan even when the emotional drive is low. In clinical settings, we see that people who develop resilience don't necessarily have more willpower than others. They've simply learned to make decisions based on commitment, not temporary feelings. They understand that discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. On the days when you feel tempted to skip your healthy routine, I want you to remember why you started. This isn't just about fitting into a smaller size, it's about protecting your heart, lowering your blood sugar, strengthening your bones, and adding quality years to your life. When you reframe your why from vanity to vitality, it becomes harder to justify giving in to old habits. Another effective strategy is to lower the barrier to action on hard days. If the idea of a full workout feels overwhelming, commit to just 10 minutes of movement. Often once you start, you'll find the energy to do more. If you're tempted by unhealthy food, pause and drink a glass of water first. These small, manageable steps create a gap between impulse and action, giving your rational mind time to make a better choice. It's also important to understand the role of stress and fatigue in these moments. When you're tired or emotionally drained, your body craves quick comfort, which often comes in the form of sugary or fatty foods. Learning to manage stress through healthier outlets like deep breathing, walking, or journaling can drastically reduce the number of times you fall back into old patterns. The key message here is that setbacks are not the end of your journey, they are part of it. Every time you push through a difficult day, you reinforce your identity as someone who follows through, even when it's uncomfortable. And over time, those victories, small as they may seem,
accumulate into a powerful track record of consistency. In medicine, we often say that the best treatment is the one the patient will actually follow. The same is true here. The perfect diet or exercise plan means nothing if you abandon it at the first sign of difficulty. Your goal is to keep going, especially when you don't feel like it, because in those moments, you're not just burning calories, you're building the mental toughness that will carry you to your goal and keep you there for life. If there's one truth I wish every patient could understand from the start, it's this: the real secret to weight loss is not a special diet, a miracle workout, or a magic supplement, it's persistence. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never stumble, they're the ones who refuse to quit, no matter how many times they have to start again. As a doctor, I've watched countless individuals begin their journey with enthusiasm, only to lose steam when the results come slowly. But those who keep showing up day after day are the ones who transform their bodies and their lives. The human body responds to consistent effort. It may not happen overnight, but small, steady changes compound into significant results over time. In medicine, we see this principle in nearly every aspect of health. Blood pressure doesn't improve after one low-sodium meal. It improves after weeks and months of sustained dietary changes. Muscle strength doesn't increase after one workout. It builds after repeated, progressive training. Weight loss is no different. It's the cumulative effect of your decisions over weeks, months, and even years. Persistence is especially important because progress is rarely linear. You will have weeks where the scale doesn't move, even though you've been doing everything right. This is not failure, it's physiology. The body adapts, fluid levels fluctuate, and sometimes fat loss is temporarily masked by other changes. If you give up in those moments, you'll never see the breakthrough that comes just beyond the plateau. I've seen patients push through a frustrating 3-week stall, only to lose several pounds seemingly all at once. That only happens when you stay the course. Another reason persistence matters is that life will always present obstacles. Vacations, holidays, busy work seasons, illness, and unexpected stress are all part of reality. The goal is not to avoid these challenges, but to navigate them without abandoning your long-term commitment. Even if you take a temporary step back, enjoying a holiday meal, or missing a workout, you return to your healthy habits the next day. That quick recovery is the hallmark of persistent people. From a psychological perspective, persistence strengthens identity. Each time you choose to keep going despite difficulty, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who takes care of their health. Over time, this identity becomes part of you. It stops being "I'm trying to lose weight" and becomes "I am a healthy person." That mental shift is powerful because it means your actions are no longer dependent on fleeting motivation. They're driven by who you believe yourself to be. I often remind my patients that persistence is not about perfection. You can have days when you eat off plan or skip a workout and still succeed as long as you return to your routine consistently. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You may miss once in a while, but as long as you brush most days, your dental health stays intact. Your body works the same way. It's the regular care you give it that determines your results. Persistence also builds resilience. The more you practice getting back on track, the easier it becomes. This resilience protects you from the all-or-nothing mindset that derails so many people. Instead of seeing a setback as a reason to give up, you see it as a temporary detour on a much longer road. That's the difference between those who lose weight and keep it off and those who repeat the cycle of starting over every January. In the end, persistence is the bridge between intention and success. You can set goals, make plans, and start with great excitement, but without persistence, you'll never reach the destination. If you want lasting change, commit to staying the course. No matter how many times you have to recommit, progress might be slow at times, but if you refuse to quit, it's inevitable. The body rewards consistency, and persistence ensures you'll see those rewards not just on the scale, but in every aspect of your health and life.